The Art of Being Ruled. Wyndham Lewis. Original publication 1926. 1989 edition. Narrated by Skeptical Waves. Part 5. Natures and Puppets. Chapter 4. Millionaire Society. We shall often have occasion to use the term millionaire society, and to avoid misunderstanding some definition had better be given of what is to be meant by it. We are busy tracing the revolutionary impulse back to the head of Zeus, as it were, from which it leaps, then taking this form and that. God cannot help thinking of change, at all events when he thinks of us. We are all infected by his thinking, and we all interpret his thought differently. The revolutionary rich interpret it differently from the revolutionary poor. For the former it becomes variety or fashion, a more or less immobile thing, or when it takes the form of movement it affects them on the Mademoiselle Julie pattern, they have an instinct to cast themselves down. That is the truly aristocratic impulse, of the satiety of power and life. But as today there is no aristocracy left, a different and more complex impulse manifests itself. That, in the course of this essay, I hope to throw some light on. There is at least no humility about the great ones of our day. There is no tendency to precipitate themselves from their fortunate eminence. And there is none of that dangerous tolerance of a true aristocracy that makes them eager to look on at themselves to be their own spectators. Marx deprecated all valuation of the great mass of new things dumped upon the world every day, until the revolution. Till that happened it did not matter very much how things stood, so long as the radical change was effected. To that we adhere. What values are popularly attached to things is of the slenderest importance, no doubt, in such a time. We accept the Marxian formula of the usefulness of capitalism as it exists today, as a machine building up an immense irrefragable power, that eventually can be used by rather pleasanter people than at present have the handling of it. We match our optimism against Marx's. We are quite sure that the most glorious people will shortly appear and use all this unparalleled power, made possible by science and capitalism, more like gods than men. We admit also that it does not sound likely. In spite of this resolve to regard giant industrialism as a great power willing night and day the evil, and destined to produce nothing but the good, and therefore forestalling somewhat this happy event, which we take on trust, treating it already as a notorious public good that does not enable us to live with our eyes shut. There is really nothing very lovely about millionaire life, millionaire art, or millionaire thought. That is why we hope that it will soon show the good we have been led to expect from it, that is to say, disappear or transform itself. When, then, we use the term millionaire society we refer to the capitalist world of great wealth that has been given this mandate by Marx, and which has come into its own since the war. However few actual millionaires there may be in it, we mean all new rich society that has the millionaire touch. In this unavoidable poor-rich classification it is not meant that all the rich are wicked and dishonest, and all the poor honest and good, but merely that the rich are rich, with all that entails, and that the poor are poor, with what ensues from that as well. The great millionaire in person usually has few of the faults of millionaire society. It would be an insensitive man indeed who did not feel drawn towards such a man as Henry Ford, with his splendid energy and unsocial character. He is what Goethe would call a nature. So with most millionaires proper. But the sub-millionaire population of the world of Ritzes and Rivieras is often very ugly. This millionaire society is replete with a barbarous optimism now. It is no wonder that, as Benda notes, and to which observation we will return later on, there is no artist or philosopher to be found to say anything disagreeable about it, so creating a record of slavishness in literary history. Or there may be some other reason. The artist or philosopher who refuses to identify himself with the aristocratic world may feel better able to accommodate himself to the millionaire world. It is so democratic, that may be it, or there may be other reasons. This optimism is not to be wondered at, for it is a new world, nor, for the same reason, can its barbarity cause any surprise. It is naturally, for itself, the best that has ever been. It is for it that the earth has labored for so long. The least of its sons and daughters exists in a swoon of luxury beside which the appointments of a Medicean prince or princess would appear rustic and coarse. It is as pleased with itself as Punch, and very naturally, with all this wealth and power and comfort, not criticism, but paeans of exultant praise, similar to those you meet with in the advertisement columns of its newspapers. Advertising its superlative goods is what it expects of the writer, philosopher, or artist, the traditional appanages of moneyed life. And that is what these charming people get. For itself, it appears emphatically to possess every imaginable advantage over former ages that money can buy, for is it not more democratic, to start with, than any other society comparable to it in power has ever been? Is it not more exquisitely artistic, and above all, and that is the thing about which there can be least question of all, more intelligent, more on the spot, more knowing, so that it is almost, or is it not quite, intellectually self-supporting, as it were? Finally, under these circumstances, it is able to do what no former society has been able to do. It is able to dispense with the disguises and graces of art and the painful tasks of culture, its traditional shell. That remoteness that art can throw over even the most scarified, pitted, oozing, and shining close-up of the insolently bared human soul is denied us. When this society has some invention parodied or watered down for its purposes, and a corrupt reflection of the thought of the true revolutionary results, you will be expected to exclaim, "How daring! How admirable! How expressive of the new age!" But you may know better than that, and so find it pointless to exclaim forever in that way. So it is that if you are truly irreconcilable, truly revolutionary, you will find many curious paradoxes in your relation both with the fashionable life of the wealthy amateur of the millionaire world, and with the revolutionary popularizer. A prophecy of a civilization that will emerge from the present ruin will be present to you in the work of a few inventive men of letters, science, and art. A propagandist of the vulgarist capitalism, such as Marinetti was or is, will in consequence not please you much. All that absurd and violent propaganda of actuality, stinking of the optimism of the hoardings and the smugness of the motoring millionaire, disguising the squalor of the capitalist factory beneath an epileptic rhetoric of action, will not stir you to sympathetic barbaric yawps. You will recognize that the Regent Street which has just disappeared had, although not much to boast of, a certain pleasant meaning that is absent from the present pretentious, stolid structures. But a dead weight of organized optimism will press on your chest. Everything will conspire to bully or hypnotize you into a best of all possible worlds attitude. You will have to be a very irreconcilable individual not to find yourself on this much too obviously winning side.